please stand for the singing of the national anthem, which will be sung by Gray Wilson McLean.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Gray. Good afternoon. My name is Julianne Small. I'm the University Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. And I'm delighted to welcome everybody here today, students, faculty, staff, administrators, trustees, platform party members, and all of our guests to the convocation of Fairleigh Dickinson University for the academic year 2017-2018. Before I introduce those members of the platform party who are not active participants in this afternoon's program, I would like to first introduce the 8th president of Fairleigh Dickinson University, Christopher Capuano. Members of the platform party, please stand as I call your name, and I ask that audiences please hold your applause until I've introduced all of the members. John Codd, University General Counsel. Richard Rees, Senior Vice President for University Advancement. Neil Stern, Vice President and Chief Information Officer. Hania Ferreira, Senior Vice President for Finance and Chief Operating Officer. Anthony Adrignolo, Grand Marshal and Senior University Faculty Member. Tracy Banks, Associate Vice President for Admissions and Financial Aid. Ruben Flores, Vice President of the Professional Administrative Senate. David Rosen, President of the Faculty Senate. Karen Denning, Faculty Senate Past President. Now I'll introduce the Board of Trustee members. Anthony Ambrosio. Brenda Blackman. Stephen Boza. Franklin Jennifer. Stuart Krentzman, Ralph Muserino, Anne Petroselli, Robert Purez, and Anthony Vespa. Thank you. I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce our 2 Deans of Students. From the Metropolitan Campus, Vidal Lopez, and from the Florham Campus, Jasmine Vereen. As an integral part of our student community, I would also like to recognize our SGA presidents. From the Metropolitan Campus, Akshay Patel. Our Florham SGA President, Sean Mayer, is unable to join us today due to his class schedule, and Co-President Audrey Eisman is currently studying abroad. I'd now like to ask if there are any retired faculty in attendance today. If so, please stand and so that we can acknowledge you. No retired faculty today? I would also like to acknowledge in absentia the faculty, staff and students who are at our other campuses, Vancouver and Roxton College, and therefore not in attendance today. And now it is my pleasure to present the academic deans who will introduce their new faculty. Faculty should stand when their name is called and remain standing until all names in their college or school have been called. And I ask again that you hold your applause until all names from a particular college have been called. I'd like to invite Jeffrey Weinman, Dean of the Maxwell Becton College of Arts and Sciences, who will introduce the new faculty from that college.
Thank you, Provost Small. I'm happy to welcome two new faculty to Becton College, both to the Department of Psychology and Counseling, one in counseling and one in psych. The first is Thomas Conklin, instructor in mental health counseling. And the second is Danielle Denigris, assistant professor of psychology. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you, Jeff. Michael Abaltroni, Dean of the School of Pharmacy, is unable to join us today as he is currently presenting at a conference. So I'd like to introduce the new faculty from the School of Pharmacy. Alicia Galipani, Clinical Assistant Professor of Pharmacy Practice. Is she with us today? And Natalie Kalhoff, Clinical Assistant Professor of Pharmacy Practice. Perhaps they're also presenting with Michael. And now let me invite Lisa Braverman, Dean of the Anthony J. Petrocelli College of Continuing Studies, who will introduce her new faculty in the college.
Thank you, Provost Small. Petrocelli College of Continuing Studies is pleased to welcome Bahari Asadi, lecturer in the School of Administrative Science in Vancouver, who is probably not here today. And our second faculty member in Vancouver as well, Julian Concepcion, who is also a lecturer in the School of Administrative Science. We welcome the two faculty members to Petrocelli College.
Thank you, Lisa. And now I'd like to invite Vicki Cohen, Interim Dean of University College, Arts, Sciences, and Professional Studies, who will introduce the new faculty from her college.
Thank you, and all welcome. We have 4 faculty in nursing, who I will call out their names and please stand. Mary Ellen Phillips. Is Mary Ellen here? She is a clinical instructor for women's health nursing. We have Cheryl Sifkis from the School of Nursing, who will be a clinical instructor for nursing pediatrics. And Marnie Sperling, clinical assistant professor for medical surgical nursing. Welcome. And Valentina Som, assistant professor of psychiatric mental health. We also have one new addition who's not so new. We would like to welcome Harvey Winters. Is Harvey here? There he is, who has been with us for many years and has rejoined us as a lecturer in the School of Natural Sciences. Thank you for joining us and welcome all new faculty to University College.
And I'd like to invite Andrew Rossman, Dean of the Silberman College of Business, who will introduce the new faculty in business.
Thank you. Thank you, Provost Small. We have 4 faculty joining Silberman College of Business this year, 1 Vancouver, 3 here in New Jersey. Omer Topologlu is an assistant professor of marketing. E.J. Ko is an assistant professor of entrepreneurship. Wenshu Zhang is an assistant professor of marketing. and Lou Wang, who is an assistant professor of economics in Vancouver. Welcome all.
Good afternoon. My name is Bob Vody. I'm an associate professor of criminology and currently serve as the Metropolitan Campus Executive. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce our colleague and keynote speaker, Dr. Judith Kaufman.
Thank you. Distinguished guests, which are all of you, platform party, faculty, students, families, staff, it is both an honor and privilege to have been invited to give this keynote address. This is a special, special time for all of us at Fairleigh Dickinson University, and it is particularly special for me, and I would like to share that with you. In 1942, Peter Sammartino had a big dream, and he dreamed a college. In September, Fairleigh Dickinson University opened its doors and was welcomed into the academic world. At around the same time, my parents, Dorothy and Nathan Horowitz, had a dream of their first child, who was welcomed into the world that same September. I want to thank whoever is responsible for putting up the banners around the campus to celebrate my birthday. Although a scientist and not particularly superstitious, somehow spending the majority of my academic career at Fairleigh Dickinson University was meant to happen. The connection between my birth family and my university family is, of course, deeply personal, but the fact that I have these two families is not unique, and I venture to say that many others in this room consider FDU to be a family affair. And it's always been the way since Peter and his wife Sally brought their dream to fruition. I'm going to give you the punchline ahead of the end of my talk, and that is the reason that our success has been so effective these past 75 years is because it is like a family to so many of us. There are many people in the audience who have longer institutional memories than my 29 years here. And some of my colleagues, as I found out at lunch, have actually served under all the presidents of the university. But I will try and reflect on the past and the present and perceptions of the future with apologies of doing it from a personal perspective and before my memory fails me. As we look at and reflect on our past, it is important, I think, to remember those who have left a significant mark on our university. These men and women built an incredible foundation for us to flourish, and we must never forget that we are indeed standing on the shoulders of giants. Each of you probably have in your mind someone who was your mentor, who you were fortunate enough to benefit from, and from the inspiration of those pioneers. I'm sure you can think about those very important people who have mentored you, and many of you are in the role of mentoring the next generation. You can walk the lobby here in the building, as some of you might have, and see many of those names of faculty, staff, and administrators who have left their footprints and who so richly influenced our past and present. And now we are so fortunate to be joined by our newer colleagues who bring with them new thoughts, ideas, techniques, and excitement and enthusiasm to our students, and those who are currently committed as ongoing members of our family. It is the mixing of this past and present that provides the perfect blend for our exciting future. Let me tell you a little bit about the past as I remember it. I came to FDU in 1988 from Yeshiva University to become Dean of Students at the Rutherford campus. Yes, indeed, there was a Rutherford campus. a small, friendly, cozy place. So small that when students didn't come to class, you could see them in their residence hall room and summon them to class. It's also interesting to note that the drinking age was 18, and there were legal keg parties on Friday nights. My friends in student affairs might appreciate the fact that we had very few alcohol violations. Ironically, some of you may remember that faculty at FDU had just been yeshivaed. That is, there could no longer be a faculty union, as faculty had been considered as substantively management. I had just come from Yeshiva University, and we were the original yeshiva, and I had to testify in the Supreme Court to indicate that we were truly faculty. Yeshiva never got a faculty union. During my first week on campus, I received a phone call from Peter San Martino, who at that point was living a few blocks from the campus in a lovely house. And he invited me to his home to check me out, to see if I was really as good as the student newspaper made me out to be. I guess I met his approval since he served me apple juice and fig Newtons, my two least favorite foods. Some of you may know that Peter was an original health nut. He would call me almost every week with a wonderful new idea. I can share those privately at some point. I was also required to attend his Christmas parties. And with Helen Brudner, who many of you know, we were required to lead the singing of 1900 songs while he played the piano. 8 months into my wonderful job on our wonderful campus, I became vice president for student affairs. I could now admit publicly I was wandering around in a world I didn't know very much about, having been an academic for most of my life. I was in charge of Division I and Division III athletics. I hopefully fondly was called Queen of the Jocks, as well as I was in charge of facilities, Dick, and all three student affairs units on all three campuses. So my days were spent going from campus to campus. Well, during that period, the weekend before I was leaving for St. Croix, where we had a laboratory, there was a hurricane and the campus was blown away. Needless to say, I never made it to St. Croix. Our Rutherford campus is now part of Felician College, although Peter and Sally's ashes still remain buried by the round building on the campus. We certainly miss Rutherford and other things that were part of FDU. However, as someone who worked at Rutherford, I can tell you that what was important was not the physical buildings, as charming as they were, but the spirit of innovation, and again, the sense of family that made us the community we were. The spirit is very much alive and well on all of our campuses today. Perhaps most of all through the years, we've shown a real spirit of resilience because, believe it or not, there have been challenges before, and from those challenges, we usually have emerged much stronger than we were. I remember sitting at one of my first board meetings, hearing from an external auditor that our university may not be a going concern. Well, that auditor eventually became our CFO and then our president, Shelley Drucker. And he was one of those leaders who helped us meet important challenges and transform this university. We've transformed FDU in so many ways. I could go on, but I don't want to keep you forever. From new buildings to new programs to new people. And of course, we've transformed the lives of so many students and helped them realize their dreams. And now we're 75 and we still thrive. And where are we now? As a psychologist, I've always viewed FDU from a developmental perspective. Some of you may recall the early childhood of the university. I've seen it in pictures and in the castle at the Rutherford campus, and even met the ghost of the castle. And in the Rutherford room here on campus, you can also see so many of the pictures. We grew and we acquired siblings: Teaneck, Madison, Roxton, and Vancouver, sometimes with a bit of sibling rivalry, but very much part of the family. Our adolescence was a quest for identity. What is our mission? Who are we? What do we need? What don't we need? Buying and selling, growing and changes. And here we are at 75, emerging into adulthood. New programs, our wonderful campus at Vancouver, which I had the pleasure of teaching at. The theme that has prevailed over time and through this growth period is connections and caring. The strong connections the staff and faculty have with the students, the connection that the campuses have made with the communities in which they live through charitable and service projects, and our connections with the world through the United Nations, study abroad, and a commitment to educating our students as world citizens. The infusion of social justice and commitment, particularly during these trying times, makes everything we do unique. And above all, of course, there is again the sense of family that makes everything we do so personal. The future is in our hands. I really am very optimistic. Certainly we have passionate leadership. I've known President Capuano for many years, and he brings to the university many important strengths, and most of all, a passion for this university and an ambition to make us even greater. Some of you may not know that Chris has done important research in the area of weight loss, so I'm sure he knows what it takes to get the university as fit as possible. But of course, it takes more than good leadership. It takes a strong team. And for FDU, that means a close family. With our leadership, the committed faculty and staff, and our wonderful students, FDU will have a splendid adulthood and thrive far beyond our 75. Thank you.
Thank you, Judith. I hope I don't embarrass her by saying that privately she told me she'd tell me more of those early stories of FDU over a drink, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm now pleased to present the recipients of the 2017 Distinguished Faculty Awards, who are being honored for their outstanding contributions to the university. The recipient of this year's Distinguished Faculty Award for Service is Gary Darden. Acclaimed author and activist Maya Angelou once wrote, "I've learned that you shouldn't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands. You need to be able to throw something back." In that spirit, Gary Darden has committed to giving his time and offering his expertise in service of others at FDU. Whenever Dr. Darden gets involved in some type of university service, he very quickly takes on a leadership role in that area, writes one colleague. He is organized, decisive, and clearly states his position on an issue and has the ability to bring other faculty members together under a common goal. During his 12 years at FDU, Gary has served as Vice President and President of the Faculty Senate and has volunteered on committees determining academic programming, curriculum updates, historic preservation, and faculty employment. He is currently chair of the Department of Social Sciences and History. In the past 2 years, he moderated events with documentarian Ken Burns and writer and historian John Meekham. He's worked diligently on further incorporating the university's global emphasis into academics, advocating for study abroad trips led by faculty, and taking students across the globe. Over the last decade, states another colleague, he has served as a source of keen judgment, balanced perspective, and steady focus on the best interests of Fairleigh Dickinson University as a whole. For his many years of dedication to this institution and its students and faculty, and for the many years to come today, we bestow upon Gary Darden the Distinguished Faculty Award for Service. Gary, would you like to say a few words?
Sure, thank you. First of all, I want to say I'm deeply grateful and honored by this. I want to thank Provost Small, President Capuano, the board, the selection committee, but first and foremost, I want to thank the faculty, because I believe the essence of any university setting is the relationship between the faculty and the students, and service at its best is the rent we pay for shared governance. And as higher education enters some difficult and troubled waters ahead, service among the faculty stepping forward and helping in that shared governance and guide us forward will be indispensable. I have to also say I'm so delighted to actually share these awards with two very dear friends and colleagues. Krista Jenkins is in my department, and Trish Malloy and I served in every feasible committee, CPC chairs, and Senate together. So to actually share the stage with you all is a big honor, and certainly a reach out to my department. But two important mentors are sitting right here on the stage, and I have to thank them, because David Rosen, who is the president of the Senate, was the chair of my department when I was hired, and he was interim chair when I became tenured. And so he got stuck with me. And then certainly Jeff Wyman was the dean the day I arrived, and he's still the dean, and he's still stuck with me. But these two individuals, probably more than anyone else, have been there to listen to me and guide me, and they're role models and they're friends and they're mentors. And to the faculty and to everyone on the stage, I'm grateful.
And Gary, just to add a personal note, I'd like to thank you for helping and guiding me through my first year at FDU. The recipient of this year's Distinguished Faculty Award for Research and Scholarship is Krista Jenkins. What matters to people in politics and in their everyday lives? Through her political science research and the polls she conducts for Public Mind, Krista Jenkins creates a window into the hearts and minds of citizens and voters. Professor Jenkins has always approached her scholarly work with curiosity, boundless optimism, and an impressive range of methodological skills, says a former advisor. Her scholarly work affects the world beyond academia. Public Mind polls offers insights into a variety of political, social, educational, and cultural perspectives, and push for accurate representation and government accountability. Even Nate Silver, the statistical and analytical superstar, and his 538 website have taken notice. In an exhaustive ranking of national polls, Public Mind received an A grade. Public Mind outperformed other prominent polls, including the Quinnipiac University and Rutgers Eagleton polls. Beyond the poll, Krista has examined the notion of American heroism, female political perspectives, and youth voter participation in her research. Since her arrival at FDU in 2004, she has placed high value and priority on her research, working on 3 books and publishing commentaries in local and national outlets. She is also often a source featured and quoted in national media as a political expert, providing insights and analysis. Krista's research insights and publishing experience are invaluable, write her colleagues. She is a precious asset who has given much to FDU and the scholarly community. Today, for elevating public discourse and researching the essential questions of our time, we present Krista Jenkins with the Distinguished Faculty Award for Research and Scholarship.
Well, thank you all for coming, and you don't get anywhere in life without the help of others. So I just want to take a few minutes to thank those who have helped me along the way for research, but also just in life. First, I want to thank the university for giving me the opportunities that it has afforded me over the years. Its many leaders I'm very grateful for, and I would simply echo what my colleague Gary said about David and Jeff. They were both here when I was hired. Jeff was not the dean when I was hired, but he has been basically my academic dean mentor over the years, and I'm very grateful to you, Jeff, for all that you've done. I'm also tremendously grateful for my amazing colleagues in the Department of Social Sciences and History. We are a small, intense, but very fun bunch of people. Tremendous intellectual curiosity, productivity, great camaraderie. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all for being the friends and the colleagues that you've been to me over the years. And then finally, I save my biggest gratitude for my family who's here, my husband and my daughters, who make me better people every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. The recipient of this year's Distinguished Faculty Award for Teaching is Professor Patricia Malloy. The art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery, wrote poet, writer, and professor Mark Van Doren. When it comes to the marriage of teaching and discovery, it's no surprise, and I'm a slight bias here, that a science professor has struck such a balance, championing students as they study biology, conduct research, and mentor freshmen. She is an asset to the university community as a whole and deserves to be recognized for her commitment and enduring spirit. Dr. Malloy embodies the education and intellectual aspirations of FDU, said a student. Since arriving at FDU in 2006, Patricia has placed a high priority on advocating for her students and being a resource for them. Another student writes, "It is very apparent that Dr. Malloy wanted us to succeed and gave us every tool to do so." In 2014, she co-founded the Becton College Student Leadership Network, which recruits upperclassmen to mentor freshmen, providing valuable experience for all involved. Upperclassmen take on leadership roles in preparation for the future, while freshmen can seek advice from their trusted peers. She also mentors students in the honors program and encourages their research interests. She has written and received grants to purchase additional laboratory equipment and developed new biology and science courses. I have found Dr. Malloy to be one of the most dedicated chairs I have had the good fortune to work with. Her dedication to the university, the college, and her department is always in the best interests of her students, who are her most important commitment, states one colleague. She truly wants her students to succeed at FDU and beyond. The university is grateful to Patricia Malloy for her contributions and recognizes them today with the Distinguished Faculty Award for Teaching.
Thank you. So I wanted to echo the comments of my fellow awardees. It's great to share this day with you. I want to thank our President Capuano, Provost Small, also Dean Weinman, who's been a mentor to me over the years, also all my wonderful colleagues, especially in Becton College. And I want to thank my family. My brother John is here. And I've had a lot of teachers and mentors who made a difference in my life over the years. And I just want to mention two things that they had in common that I've tried to take with me. The first thing is that they made me feel included in the scientific endeavor, that I felt like I was really a scientist and I got to know their path. And I think that's very important for young people as they're getting into their career. And the second thing that they did was I saw that they cultivated a separate skill outside of science, and that was that they learned how to explain science to people who were just learning it, and they could translate their work for a broader audience. So I've tried to take the best of what they've taught me and help train the next generation of students here at FDU. So thank you again for this award.
Just as we have many faculty who have given years of distinguished service to Fairleigh Dickinson University, likewise, we have many staff members who make outstanding contributions to our success. These pillars of FDU have served the university with commitment and distinction for 10 years or more. They have promoted civility on campus, have shown unusual concern for the welfare of our students, and serve as role models for their colleagues and students alike. This award is made to no more than 2 people from each campus each year. I am now proud to introduce the Metropolitan Campus recipients of the Pillars of the University Award. Our first recipient is Wendy Hager. A member of this community for more than 35 years, Wendy's knowledge and in-depth understanding of FDU's history, values, and procedures have made her an indispensable member of the university. Her love of the university and her passion for our mission and our people have inspired staff and students alike. Prior to her vital work with the Office of Student Life, Wendy worked for the Office of Career Management. Patient, dependable, and a model of customer service, Wendy works tirelessly to improve the student experience, and among her many efforts, she manages the reservations of literally thousands of events each year as part of the student union. Influential throughout the campus, Wendy has for decades chaired the Senior Portraits program and served as coordinator of both the late night breakfast and the commuter breakfast. She has advised many clubs and was the yearbook advisor until 2010. Today, she still plays an important role in Graduation Salute, the campus organization fair, and continues to sit on many scholarship committees. For her many commitments and contributions spanning nearly 4 decades, we salute Wendy as our pillar of FDU.
Thank you. I would like to thank President Capuano, Campus Executive Dr. Robert Vody, and the Professional Administration Senate for giving me this wonderful award. This will be my 36th year at FDU, and there are times when I can't believe it has been that long. One of the reasons that my time here has gone by so quickly is because of the great people that I have worked with and remain connected to. I want to thank the entire Student Life staff, and a special thanks to Jessica O'Brien and Jocelyn Moses, who give me support, encouragement, and their friendship each and every day. Last but not least, I want to thank my husband, Bob, who is always my biggest fan, my daughter, Robin, my son, David, my daughter-in-law, Maria, and my son-in-law, Ronaldo, for their unconditional love. Thank you again to my family and friends who are here today to share this great honor with me. Thank you.
Our second recipient from the Metropolitan Campus is Stephanie Miller, Director of Employee Benefits and Training. Stephanie's got a fan club. As a student and graduate of Fairleigh Dickinson University, Stephanie was so passionate about the school that she decided to pursue her career here. Stephanie was a member of the University Honors Program and a student worker who went on to become a full-time employee in 2002. Since then, she has made many contributions to the university, including enhancing employee benefit offerings, implementing the use of technology in the benefit enrollment process, and has been very active in negotiating the employee and student insurance programs. With tremendous compassion and constant concern for the well-being of our employees, Stephanie serves as chair of the Wellness Committee, where she has encouraged and provided incentives for us to seize the benefits of healthy living, such as the walking challenge that she oversees. Armed with an impressive work ethic, Stephanie always goes the extra mile to assist all of our students and employees, including our retired faculty. In addition to her many responsibilities, Stephanie has accepted the crucial role of the University Title IX investigator, another significant challenge that she has successfully mastered. For these and the many other special benefits she provides to our campus community, today she's earned the Pillar Award.
Thank you. I accept this Pillar Award with great honor. FDU has been such a huge part of my life for half my life. Ironically, I stood on this stage with both President Capuano and Dr. Kaufman many years ago as I accepted the Psychology Award. I would not be here without the tremendous support and guidance I have received from FDU as both a student and an employee. My position has helped me grow both professionally and personally. I have been afforded the opportunity to work with, learn from, and help so many amazing and interesting people, faculty, staff, students, and retirees. A very special thank you to Rose. I am always learning from and inspired by you. I could not have asked for a better mentor for over the past 15 years. Thank you to my family. You are my rock. And specifically to my Jake and Max. May this day be a life lesson on the importance of hard work and the invaluable lifelong gift that an education provides. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Brian Morrow, Interim Florham Campus Executive. I am proud to introduce the Florham Campus recipients of the Pillars of the University Award. The first recipient is Elizabeth Betty Barrett. Please join me at the podium, Betty. Betty Barrett has been an integral FDU staff member for more than 15 years, serving students in the Florham Campus Residence Life Office. As the campus has grown, her dedication to her students and customer service has never wavered, and she has been a wonderful role model, always positive and always polite and always empathetic. You might know her better by her other title on campus, Everyone's Mom. Her walls are covered with photos, thank you notes, Hallmark cards, wedding and birth announcements, and countless messages from all the students who are fortunate to have Betty in their lives. The messages all have one common theme. Thank you for being there. You are like my mom. Betty also volunteers to chaperone off-campus events and takes great joy in doing things like serving food at late-night breakfast. As one former student wrote, "You keep the FDU residential world in perfect equilibrium." For outstanding service, Betty previously was honored by students with a Maddie Award, and today we now honor her as a true pillar of Fairleigh Dickinson University.
I can't thank you enough for the consideration and privilege that has been granted to me.
It is an absolute incredible honor and a godsend to find myself a recipient of FDU's Pillar Award. I'm the one standing here accepting this honor, but this award belongs, at least equally, to my wonderful extended family, the Office of Campus Life, that I have had the privilege and good fortune of working with through the years. I would also like to acknowledge all of the great friends, staff, faculty, and students I have made during my time here. Again, I want to express my appreciation with a sincere and profound thank you.
The second recipient for the Florham campus is Lauren Elgin, Lab Manager, Computer Services. Lauren, please join me at the podium. The Computing Services Department plays an integral role in our educational mission, and Lauren is one of the most valuable team players. For her, caring for people isn't just a part of the job, it's who she is. It doesn't matter if it's a caller needing guidance, a student having problems with a computer, or an instructor concerned about how an application will work. Lauren's desire to resolve problems always makes a difference. She regularly manages more than 30 student workers on both New Jersey campuses. But each knows they are unique and cared about. For many, these are their first jobs, and Lauren makes sure they understand their roles and they are prepared for success. One student said it best when he wrote to her, "You inspire, you challenge, you guide, you give, you praise, you listen, you encourage, you care." This caring continues throughout the year and culminates during commencement, where Lauren serves as a marshal, again applying her unique attributes and again making a difference. For caring so much about this institution and its students, we present to Lauren the Pillar Award.
Good afternoon. I don't want to. Okay. There is a scripture that says, "Every good gift given and every perfect gift is from above." I am truly blessed and honored to receive this award today. I have worked here for close to 18 years, and I am grateful to God for the opportunities that I have to serve and to interact with our students, the faculty, and the staff at this institution. FDU holds a special place in my heart as you have helped me to grow as a person and as a professional. It is the love and compassion, encouragement and support that I have received that allows me to serve and give back to our community. So I see this as my opportunity to say thank you, not only for the award I'm receiving today, but for all that you have invested in me over the years. Thank you.
Again, congratulations to all of our recipients. Well, this concludes this year's convocation, which, as Dr. Kaufman noted, coincides with the university's 75th anniversary, which we'll be celebrating throughout this academic year. Another upcoming and very special occasion will be the inauguration of Dr. Christopher A. Capuano as the 8th president of Fairleigh Dickinson University, which will take place on Wednesday, September 27th at 3 p.m. on our Florham campus, which we hope you will be able to attend. I want to thank everyone who helped organize this year's convocation, with a special thank you to Angela DiPaolo, Craig Morton, Dick Frick, and our entire facilities personnel. Thank you all for attending, and please join us for a reception outside of Dickinson Hall. Have a great academic year, and kindly remain seated until the platform party and faculty have recessed. Thank you.